Hello, and welcome to the DTF report for week 7. Dickie's got a new setup. I hope you all enjoy as you can feast your eyes on the hot standings before you. As you can see here, Daddy-O, we've got a real bomb burner as we head into the home stretch toward the playoffs in glory. Heroes of fantasy. You see, here we've got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 teams at 4 and 2. The hot sauce is going nuts, folks. You see here, Crystal still on top. But you see, it's a tight race here. You've got all these teams vying for that top position, getting ready to strike. You got some 3 and 3s in the middle with their hopes still hinging. And you've got people 2 and 4, and it's still early, folks. Well, it's not early. But you've got a shot, folks. Keep climbing up. Keep climbing rung by rung. Don't give up. And remember, you've got the bowl to play for. Get that team in fight in order for glory at the end of the year. Just like Dick likes it. You go on hard and fast. Sometimes it doesn't work out. All that matters is that you finish strong, baby. And let me tell you, Dick always finishes. Professor and CJ, tisk, it's just not their years at the bottom of the barrel for now. But maybe, just maybe, they could be kings this year too. You never know, folks. Now, let's take a gandaroo at just what transpired last week. Here we go, folks. Checking it out live here, folks. Week 6 in review. Let's take a little gandaroo. Here we can see my view is a little zoomy zoom, baby. Let's see if we can fix that for you. Yeah, baby. Get it all in there. Get all the gooses and the ganders. Now, old Danny boy pulled another one out of his behind against poor Stephen Naramore. This one came down to Monday Night Football, and Stephen thought he had it in the bag, but did he have it wrong, baby? You see, Green Bay decided to put that bag in the hands of the backup running back, who just so happened to be on Danny boy's team, instead of the stud stunner. That was enough to tip the scales in the favor of sorry about your damn luck. Tipping the scales in favor of his team going 4 and 2, and Naramore plummeting to 2 and 4. Although Steven's team's still looking good, baby. You still got some strong bench performances. Things are still looking up for you. Keep it together and keep on trucking. Plus, old Danny boy isn't going to get 43 million points from Stephon Diggs again anytime soon. Don't worry about that, Jack. Now on to the next matchup, as CJ remembered to hail to the chief. CJ remembered who his daddy was, as Ricardo laid the beat down. Well, it wasn't that much of a beat down, 106.8 to a measly 90, however, as Ricky G survived CJ, despite some questionable performances from Tyler Boyd and the ever-invisible Vance McDonald. But boy, oh boy, did Carlson and Godwin come out to play. Godwin still carrying the Chief team all the way from the heavens down below. And what is below comes up. That is the Chief, and we hail to him for now at 4 and 2 as well. This is how you make everyone 4 and 2, folks. You let them smash apart the other teams, and now they'll claw each other as the schedule rolls on. CJ, gotta miss you. I mean, I don't fault you. The man is wonderful, but he just didn't do it for you this week, buddy. CJ, it's time to overhaul the squad. Get some trades. Get it going, baby. Now, Matt Segovia making up for last week, folks. Al is a tough luck loser, dropping 121. But Matt Segovia's still patting old Julio's Johnson or Julio if you prefer, as he dropped 132 on L's Satin squad. You see, Mahomes still doing it dirty, not quite what you'd expect from him, but it's okay, because Matt Segovia's hometown, David Johnson Cardinals, doing some damage. Although he's a traitor to himself, somehow also playing his backup and his rival 49er defense. But boy, Matt Segovia doesn't care as long as the points are on the board. And L riding some sexy performances from Scary Terry and Georgie McKittle, but it just wasn't enough. L, the year is still going. Don't give up. As long as you aren't sleeping on the couch, there's always hope, buddy. Remember that. Now, as we roll on, it's the Pirates' life for me. Speaking of sleeping on the couch, Babalu drops the first place Crystal. We're dropping an L on her, 113 to 109, dropping her to 4-2, raising him up to 4-2. And boy, did Babalu surprise. This man benched Aaron Rodgers just to seal the deal. Didn't want to take any chances, but he's hurting his own points for the fool. Well, that's enough of that. You see, let's see here. James Conner, the Terminator, carrying the team along with that Broncos silly Big D defense. And you know Dick loves the Big D, baby. Yeah, now Crystal, Tom Brady somehow, despite doing nothing for the majority of the game, decided to QB sneak like twice and somehow got 22 points out of that day. Swear. Anywho, Crystal's team still looking good as they roll on, still in first place, folks. And like I said, it's the home stretch. Anything can happen. Bob's team is looking up. But can he repeat these performances and squeak out these near wins in the weeks to come? Only time will tell. Now, the next team is the former champs decided to lay the smack down on poor Oscarito's Professor team. Adrian, despite not being sure who his QB is, got a not great performance from the QB this week in old Teddy Bridgewater. But it didn't matter because he got a nice little spread from Curtis Samuel and DeAndre Hopkins and Mark Edwards and whoever else he found in the doldrums of his bench. Well, old Professor got hit by some hard buys this week, but boy oh boy, that Buffalo defense is going to look sexy this week. And when he gets T.Y. Hilton back, and hopefully Gurley will wake it up, rust off that knee, and get Professor some relevancy. Professor will be a force in the second half of the year as soon as he gets some of these dude bros back from buys and injuries. We'll see. Keep on chugging, Oscar, and pull off some trades. That reminds me, pay your league dues. Anyone that hasn't paid yet, the Professor will come collecting soon enough. Don't make him break a kneecap. I have Big Easy D's around here somewhere, and he only accepts straight cash, homie. Ho ho! And then we've got the popping off the big horse of the week, baby. And you know Dick likes it big and hard. And so does El Ezekiel, as he drops 151 on the hapless 91 of the Zach Ertz team. Zach, you don't have Ertz anymore. It's time to change the team name. It's bad juju. You've lost 2 straight because of it. It's just not working, buddy. But, you know, Freddie, you dropped a poop ton of points when you didn't need it. And that's exactly how fantasy football works. When you're beating the man, you poop diarrhea on his chest and make it count, baby. Now let's see what happened here. Matt Ryan with a sexy 30. Zeke dropping 26. 23 from Alshon Jeffrey, and the Panthers D coming up big, baby. Wow, oh me, oh my, oh. And you know what? We had Kyler Murray showing some sauce here. Michael Thomas hanging in there, but you don't like what you're seeing for the rest of the squad. Amari Cooper coming up lame in that game, leaving it early. Zach has a bright future still. He's got some sauce on the bench when Christian Kirk comes back, maybe. Things are still looking okay for Zach. Just gotta move on forward, and we can't all be 4-2, Zach. Someone has to have 3 losses. Moving right on. Hot Tub Time Machine drops 131, and he needed almost every cent to beat a very game 122 Aldo squad. Again, the poopy squad changing his name, not giving up, scoring well, and it's just not enough every week, Aldo. It'll never be enough. It's because you took time away from fantasy. You've forgotten what it feels like to have the dream snatched from you. Hopefully the Astros make it to the World Series to make you feel better. But this week just wasn't for you. You're 2-4. Your team is scoring well. They're looking sexy. Just keep it up and the dice will fall in your favor eventually. Unless they don't, because it's football, baby. Suck it up. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson doing exactly what Jay Sizzle traded for him to do, and that's dropping 30s on fools. Probably the reason that J6 picked up the dub against poor Aldo Lorenzo. And you don't want to see this underperformance from Alvin Kamara. Aldo paid $1 million for him. He should be scoring way more than 13.6 points. And the biggest disappointment probably the week. Hot Sauce Malcolm Brown finally getting his time to shine with Gurley going down, and the Rams suck. That's just how that works, baby. Now, that's all that and this and there. Let's take a quick gandaroo at just who's spreading the hot sauce all over the field. And as we can see, Crystal is still spreading that hot sauce, and Aldo is the second highest scoring team in the league, and yet sits at 10th place. Stephen Naramore also doing the dirty, but 11th place, even though he's scoring super good. And it's just not enough because it's football, folks, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. But if we look at points against, I'm sure we will see the highest scored on teams, of course, Aldo, and you'll see there Naramore right there, right in the top 6. But you know what? Crystal, third highest scored against. So she's spreading the hot sauce, and she's also getting shit on herself. So she's persevering through it, still hanging on to first place. CJ, I could see why you're in last. You've had 1,000 points scored against you, and you suck. That's a recipe for disaster if I've ever seen it. Now, that should be it for this week, folks. Continue getting those trades going. Continue paying your league dues if you haven't. Adrian is shining up that world title, that championship belt, to ready to pass it to the next winner, because Lord knows they ain't winning it. And we take a quick gandaroo. Can't really look at projections too good because of bye weeks and whatnot. But if I was going to pick any old hot sauce matchup, I'm not going to ignore old Danny Boy against Matt Segovia in a battle of 4-2s. This is huge, folks. This is a pivotal match to decide who will go up to the promised land and continue to tie, sort of, for first place, and who will go down to mediocrity with those other 3-3 winners, this week. Meanwhile, Stephen Naramore looking to turn it back around against Professor, who just wants to buy a bucket here, folks. While Crystal probably has a cakewalk against poor CJ. Anytime you want to muster 100 points, CJ, this would be the week, folks. This would be the week. Now, Zacharoo has a tough one against the Chief this week. You see, Ricky G at 4-2, he doesn't want to stop. He sees that championship belt in his eyes, that gleam, baby. Zach, meanwhile, pulled off the trade, was sitting pretty, and now 2 losses in a row and finds himself at 3-3 in mediocre land, and he doesn't like it. That's going to be a hot one, folks. Meanwhile, Aldo looks to pick up the dub, finally, against a very game Babalu Pirate Life team. Maybe Bob will actually put in his QB in order to beat Aldo this week. Al, meanwhile, gets a match against the champs, Adrian and Tyree. Just catching something, folks. Anyway, Tyree and Adrian trying to continue to climb to keep that belt in their grasp, but it's looking bleak. They need the W this week against Al, and Al needs the W to stay relevant, and he can't do that good because Crystal might put him on the couch, folks. But That'll be a hot one, and nothing will be hotter than the bottom match, the last matchup, folks, as Freddie looks to repeat his hot performance to put away J-Sex in another battle of 4 and 2s. Yes, folks, this week is going to be popping off like none other, as a couple 4 and 2s clash, and a couple 4 and 2s got cakewalks, and we'll see who comes out on top. Until next week, folks, dicks out, baby. Eventually.